What is up, you guys? It's your boy DJ Lil back again with another tutorial, and today we're doing a comparison tutorial which we're gonna go ahead and compare the Presonus Audio Box USB 96 interface and the Behringer Uphoria 404 HD. Now, before we get into that, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and hit the notification button and give this video a thumbs up, and we're good to go. Now let's get into it. All right, so here we are, guys. Now I've got that Behringer audio interface, which is about Uphoria UMC 404 HD. Now let's go into a little bit detail about it. So as you can see, if we go in front here, we've got about 4 inputs, 1 2 3 4, which is also they go about TR jacks and TRR jacks, which are the large ones. They all go both here, and we can plug about 4 of them, right? So here goes the volumes. This is like channel 1, this is channel 2, this is channel 3, this is 4, obviously. And the good thing about it, it has a pad on top here, which is if the performer is louder than usual, you can press the pad and maybe go higher like this. But in normal sense, I wouldn't go that higher, so keep it somewhere there. And if you plug in an insert, we're talking about a compressor or an external preamp before this signal chain, you're gonna have to place this right here, which says insert or line in. That's gonna do the trick. So it has it on each and every channel, as you can see on the 4 channels. Now next to it is the mono to stereo button. I think on your monitor speakers you can press this now to see the difference between when you're mixing, how it's going to sound in mono and stereo. But you can go ahead and experiment that. Next to it is the mix button, which is the same as the mix on the Presonus. It does the same thing. You go left, you hear your feedback as you speak on the mic like this. And then if you want to hear more of the playback, you go to the right. That's the PC playback, the sound from your computer. And down here you have got the main output, which represent both outputs, because this one goes about 2 pairs of monitor speakers at once, so it controls both. But you can A/B here, A and B, the sets, the pairs one at a time, so you can hear the difference. Next to it is the headphones volume, and the headphones pretty much goes down here. If I turn it behind, you see there's the power here, which the USB goes here. There's the MIDI out, there's the MIDI in, which is the same way about the MIDI inputs. They'll go right here if you want to use your MIDI keyboard right here. Next to it is the phantom button for your mic, condenser mic. If you're using a dynamic, you're not gonna need it. Next to it is the playback. Now this playback is different. It's if you plug something like a radio or something you want to hear from, a DVD or something, you could use these outputs right here, or a tape recorder or something you use here. Now next to it is the main outputs. Now the main outputs, you can use 2 pairs. Like I said, you can use the TR jacks or the XLR jacks, which goes right here. Next to it is the inserts. Now the inserts, we're talking about compressors and preamp and what have you, they go right here. So you can see channel 1 is right here, like left and right, and it also goes there. That's about it. So let's put it in practice. So this is on the basic how it's gonna sound before you start even messing around the knobs on the mic and on the interface. But basically we're talking about the interface right now. So the interface has the possibility for you to record in 24-bit, even higher if your PC can handle it, which is good, because if you're recording on those type of beats, it records in a much higher quality. But when you start mixing, there's a lot of problems to how your speed goes and how many effects you can add and so forth. So putting it on 24-bit at 48 Hz, 48,000 Hz, like it's written down here, that would be a good idea. That's how I record my sessions, and they sound very great on the Uphoria HD. So how I got those settings to 24-bit at 48,000 Hz? It's you got projects here, project, and then you go to project setup, and it will show you all the settings right there. It cannot show me right now because I'm already recording right here in Cubase. Now, this is what will happen if you push the pad button on the audio interface. If I push it right now, right, so that's the pad, and it's really gonna drop your voice with some minus dBs there. But since you already got that function on your mic, if it doesn't, then you might want to push that knob. It comes in handy if you got a performer that is very loud in the studio and you don't want to kill the vibe. So place that, it'll control your volume, it'll make sure you're not making a mess out of the recording. I push that back and we back to normal, and you can hear how it sounds now. All right, so this is a raw and dry vocal going through that Uphoria HD audio interface, and that's pretty much how it sounds with the Lord mic. All right, guys, here we are. Right here, I've got that audio box, which is about Presonus right here. So let me just go into detail a little bit. So as you can see here, it has about 2 inputs, which is 1 and 2. And it goes both ways. It has the TR jacks and the XLR jacks. And next to it is the phantom button, which, you know, we're going to put it in demonstration. And the volumes for 1 right here, and for volume for 2 right here. Next to it is the mix knob, which makes sort of like when you're recording and you want to hear the playback of yourself singing before it goes into everything else. So you go to the left, and to the right is about everything that is playing, sort of like the playback from the PC and all. And this is for the headphones right here, and this is for your monitor speakers. And talking about monitor speakers, if you turn this around, you can see it has about 2 outputs, which is the left and right, and it has a MIDI in and a MIDI out, which you can also plug your MIDI controller through this if you don't want to use the USB on your MIDI controller, which also works best. Next to it is the headphone jack, which goes through there. It has each one separate volume, as I showed you in front here. So let's go ahead and put this in practice. All right, guys, so now I've connected the Presonus Audio Box USB 96. Now the settings, the mic settings are pretty much the same as we were using on the Uphoria UMC 404 HD. So the volume is still close to half as it was on the other previous audio interface. Now Presonus is a little bit straightforward. There's no pad there, and all you got is a volume knob, and you got a phantom button. But then the specs are pretty much the same as the Uphoria HD sound card. Not exactly, but then this goes up to 96,000 Hz, I think, because it's the USB 96, and I think they were pretty much trying to say it goes as much higher as that, while as the Uphoria goes about to 192 kilohertz, if I'm not mistaken. But you can see it's way higher from 96 to 192. Well, there's a little bit of difference there, but for you to record in that state, it'll be up to your computer, can it handle it or not. But what you can do here, which is pretty much similar with the Uphoria, you can record this in 24-bit as well at 48 1000 Hz, right, as it shows down here. So the settings are pretty much the same. You go to the project settings and set it right there. If not, most of these audio interfaces, they come with audio drivers. Like this one comes with drivers, and it's pretty much easy. You can go down here and you find it here. It's called Universal Control. Now once you buy this, you download these audio drivers for free. You get it registered first at the website, Presonus. They'll give you that in the details if you buy a brand new one, right? The same goes with the Behringer audio interface. When you buy it, they give you a link on where you can download the audio drivers. If not, they're everywhere on the web. You can look them up and download them. That's better, because if you have that, then it's easy to set it to the preferences that you wanna record on, and you can go ahead and practice on every set that you can practice to get the better sound out of your production. Now take more time on it and see what your computer can handle and what you want to go with. As for me, 24-bit at 48 kilohertz isn't bad at all. I mean, I used to record on 16-bit at 44.1 hertz. Well, there is a lot of difference right there. There's a lot of difference right there. Now, at least you got an idea of how these Presonus sound on a raw voice, without anything, without plugins, no nothing, on the dry run. This is how it sounds like. And then you can compare back and forth with the Uphoria UMC 404 HD and see which one you prefer. I will leave that to you, because it's all your choice. It comes down to preference, right? As for me, I use both of these with no problem and still achieve the same results. So it's really up to you, as long as you keep it in practice. So now that you have heard all of them, well, I guess that sums it up. Now, if you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, hit the notification button, and give this video a thumbs up. And that's it. So until next time, you guys stay blessed.